John of the Eye Patch, Chapter 18. Man your stations, hoist the anchor and set the sails, Blackbird yelled. Set sails! Set sails! His parrot said. The pirate crew were a fervent swirl of bright red, orange, blue, and purple silks, stained cottons, sun-darkened skin, and unkempt beards as they rushed from the captain's quarters with a rousing cheer of hurrah. They sang shanties to keep their movements in rhythm as the anchor pulled up, the sails unfurled, and the Blackbird took hold of the helm with his tri-cornered hat at a jaunty angle. In mere moments, the Dragon of Plunder was underway. John climbed the ladder to the quarterdeck and asked Blackbird, "How'd the men get us moving so quickly? It seemed to take forever to get the anchor up on Blackbeard's ship." The exhausted drills I put 'em through," Blackbird said. "Don't be paying attention to that lad," Mr. Owen said. "We parked in the shallows is all. No needin' of letting out a full anchor." John ran to the railing and peered over the side. The water was a lot shallower here. The sand at the bottom was almost golden. He looked to the mouth of the cove. Almost there. Remember, turn right. We gotta get my mom," John told Blackbird. "Turn right? What do you think we're doing? Driving a wagon?" Blackbird said with a hearty laugh. "Driving a wagon, the bird said. "Turn that way," John said, pointing to the ship's right. "Lad be meaning port," Mr. Owens said. "Just say port next time then." Blackbird shook his head and rolled his eyes. "You know, you're lucky your mom's who she is. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let you aboard. Hey, where are you going?" John jumped down the ladder to the main deck, stumbling as he landed. He dashed to the rigging and he started to climb. It was more difficult with the mast lurching with each press of the wind. John scampered up the ropes until he was above the trees and able to see out into the pearlescent blue waters of the Caribbean. The Queen Anne's Revenge was turned to face the island. Its sails dropped one after another, some falling to the deck, others to the sea. Mom must be cutting loose. John climbed down the rigging, reached the main deck as the Dragon of Plunder sailed out of the cove. It turned left to starboard, away from his mom. He ran up the ladder, quickly to the quarterdeck. "What are you doing?" he demanded of Blackbird. "We're running away." "Running away? Running away?" "My mom said meet her the other direction," John pointed. Blackbird looked at John and then at Mr. Owens, the latter of which he said, "She be saving the whole lot of us." "Fine," Blackbird replied. He turned the wheel. "Bring the sails around. We have a woman aboard." "Woman overboard?" John climbed to the main deck. He raced to the bow of the ship, and he looked out over the sea until he saw his mom swimming towards the Dragon of Plunder. There she is!" John pointed, shouting. A rope was thrown to his mom so the crew could pull her aboard. She flopped onto the deck, obviously exhausted from swimming. John threw his arms around her in a hug that squeezed Caribbean seawater from her clothes. "I'm so glad you're safe, Mom," John said. "I'm only safe because of you, John. And I have news for Blackbird," which she shared on the quarterdeck. "I've sabotaged the rudder chain for Queen Anne's Revenge." Blackbird slapped his hand against his forehead. "You did what?" He stumbled away from the ship's wheel like somebody had punched him into the gut. "I sabotaged the rudder The steering mechanism. It'll give us at least half a day's head start, she said. Don't you remember that me crashing into the Queen Anne's Revenge is what got me on Blackbeard's list of ill will in the first place? Blackbird asked. T-boned, T-boned, the parrot said. It's all my fault. Blackbird wiggled his finger at John. It doesn't change the fact that Blackbeard is going to be even more angry than he was before. Well, he'll have to get over it, John's mom said. That's all you have to say? Blackbird threw his hat on the ground, startling his parrot's bird as it squawked and switched shoulders. How many times have I saved your life? John's mom asked as she took the helm. Blackbird began counting on his fingers. Once he ran out of fingers, he said, I don't know. After 10, I lose count. Quite a few, she said. Quite a few, the bird said. I'm casting them in now. We find that chest, and I'll owe you. That's right. You'll owe me. Wait, what? Did I hear that right? You owe me? Blackbird scooped his hat off the deck, and he straightened the corners. Just what I said, she said. Okay then. Where to? Blackbird pulled his hat on. We need to head back to Nassau. We just left Nassau. John, go below decks and take a nap while I catch the captain up on the last hour. But Mom, Captain, John protested, looking between her and Blackbird. Go. Then, softer so only John could hear. John, go home. John went back to the closet of the cabin that he was assigned to. He went inside and he tugged off the eye patch. He went from the swaying floorboards of a rowdy pirate ship to the relative silence of a suburban bedroom. His clothes dripped seawater onto the floor. Might as well take a shower, he thought. His clothes went into the hamper, and he wrapped himself in the bathrobe before crossing the hall into the bathroom. His shower wasn't much warmer than the Caribbean waters. Sand rinsed from his hair, leaving a mess in the tub. After adventuring on a pirate ship, John found life at home absolutely boring. While his bike could give him freedom, it would never give him the adventure that a pirate ship could. Cannons, pistols, pirate riddles. Thinking of a riddle reminded John of the entrance requirements to the academy. He was supposed to write a paper about pirate ships. He learned a few things about them in his latest adventure. The capstan raises an anchor. You can see kelp easier from above than from the shore. And even though pirate ships had multiple sails, it only requires one to move along as fast as rowing sailors. Oh, and the shanties, songs sung by sailors as they complete hard tasks. John wasn't sure how to describe it fully, but he knew music was a part of the soul of a pirate ship. A knock on the door startled him. Come in? His dad peeked inside. You've been awfully quiet in here, John. I'm just working on my paper for Academy, John said, hoping this was the first time his dad had stopped by to check on him. Good. His dad entered the room, tousled John's hair, and started loading laundry in a basket. John, why are all your clothes wet? He froze. I can't tell him I was swimming in the Caribbean. Not that he could tell his dad anything. I was at a water park with Alyssa. He lied. This early? We were, John tried to think of something believable. We were riding bikes, and then Alyssa, she sort of, dared me to ride through the fountains. And I was like, sure? John didn't look away from his computer while saying this. I didn't see bike ride on the board this morning. Busted. Telling his dad it was a made-up story seemed worse than the other, and John said, Yeah, I forgot. John, what did I tell you? You need to look at me. John glanced at his dad, feeling embarrassed. John, I get worried. I know you worry, Dad. You need to know where I am. It was my mistake. I'm sorry. Is this sand? His dad bent down to pick up laundry out of the hamper. Yeah, there's sand at the water park. Guilt ate at John. So many lies. How will his dad ever love him again after this? But he had to get Mom back, no matter what. Well, get a towel and clean all this water up before someone slips, okay? His dad took the basket of laundry from him when he left. John mopped up the water in the room and remembered the sand in the bathtub in time to rinse that away as well. He wasn't sure how long it was going to take Mom to sail back to Nassau, so he spent the rest of the morning being overly helpful around the house. Probably from guilt. By the time it was lunch, John was ravenous. He ate not one, but 2 grilled cheese sandwiches, an apple, an orange, and some cucumber slices. What do you say, John? Movie and popcorn tonight? His dad asked. Tonight, John had been planning to return to the Caribbean to help his mom. Movie popcorn night meant he'd have to spend at least 2 hours stuck on the couch. No matter how good the movie was, it couldn't beat returning to the world of pirates. Shouldn't I be focusing on my essay, Dad? Oh, that's quite the dedication, son. But my trip's coming up fast, and I want to spend some time with you now, while I still can. That new superhero film is out. You can go to the store with me to get it. If John went to the store, it would mean even more delay. By the time dinner came around, it would be late in the night in the Caribbean anyways. The movie sounds really cool, Dad, but do I have to go to the store? Fine, I'll pick it up. You don't have to go, John. Phew. John was able to get out of going to the store without further lies. The knot of guilt in his stomach relaxed, but only for a little bit.